Today we're going to take a closer look at one of my favorite conversions. This was my version of the Storm Talon or Stormraven gunship before there was a model for it.
Spiky bits. Make sure you stay in the trenches by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.
So, like I was saying, this is my version of the Stormraven gunship. Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer, and well, it's another hobby showcase. So, depending on how familiar you are with kind of how Games Workshop does things now, they don't really put models out or put rules out for things that don't have a model, and that has to do with a lot of IP stuff and it's chapter house case. But basically, they used to do it. Now they don't do it. But when the Blood Angels came out back in, I want to say 5th edition, they had something called a Stormraven gunship, and nobody knew what it was or what it looked like or how big it was supposed to be. We just had like this vague little sketch of this thing, and so a lot of people basically made their own version, and it was cool to see all the stuff out there on the internet, all the conversions and things. This was one of the very first features for actually spiky bits that I came up with, and it was really cool to see because it was really the part of the hobby that was the funnest to me, is like putting stuff together and converting it, and just all the stuff that came out. And there was a good I want to say a year and a half before the Stormraven itself, the actual model, even came out. So a lot of people basically were doing all sorts of different conversions. There was all sorts of stuff. Chapter House came out with the stretch version once the actual Stormraven came out, an upgrade kit for it. So there's all sorts of options out there. Of course, Forge World's made variants of the Stormraven since then, the Storm Eagle and the Fire Raptor, and the list goes on and on and on. But before all that, we had our very own that we had to make. And this design here, based on the picture, I borrowed very heavily from the Vendetta flyer for the Imperial Guard. The front, of course, is the Land Raider, and the top here was the Mark I parts from a Land Raider, which it's very similar. It's got the top turret. It's got, a little cockpit that's kind of different. And remember, this thing was supposed to carry a dreadnought in the back, so I had to make a little dreadnought kind of carry bay right there, which I did. And there's some magnets right here too, and I used to have a dreadnought that would plug right into it and basically be able to drop down. So I just kind of used the hatch for the Vendetta here and just kind of pushed it back and made this little alcove here. For the legs, I used Sentinel piston legs here and Vendetta or Valkyrie foot pads. Also, you'll notice right here, oh, it still flips down. how about that? So there you go. You can see all the way up in there. I had no idea I still did that. And then on the bottom, there's a little bit of empty space, but we put the little piece there so you can lock it into the flying stand and the front skid for the Vendetta as well. And then, of course, there was multiple hard points for missiles because there was missiles. We didn't know they were going to be, like, basically integrated right into the wing itself when they came out with the Stormraven, which is pretty neat. Like, don't get me wrong, the Stormraven's a great kit. Like, very cool looking, very forward thinking, I feel like. And it was really neat to see when it did come out, how close, like, everybody's conversions really were, you know, size-wise and such. And then on the top here is just a normal Rhino Razorback plate with the little Rhino Razorback glass cannon thing here. So a lot of forge roll components went into this. I actually scrapped a Land Raider to make it, but at the time I needed one. And then in the back here, I just basically kind of took the aileron or the vertical stabilizer from the Valkyrie, the top from the Valkyrie, and a couple of extra fairing pieces from the Valkyrie, and just kind of made it work right there. So you can kind of see there's there's definitely a mix of plasticard as well as real parts, I guess, from different kits on here to kind of simulate, kind of try to bring it all together right there. Now, personally, if I went back and I remade this, I would probably put the engines a little bit higher, but I still wanted, I kind of wanted them on the same plane right here, just so it looked good. And then also the landing gear also needed a place to I guess I could have put the landing gear onto the actual fuselage itself there, but it was a neat little project, and it was fun to do. And you can definitely check all the work in progress pictures out over on Spiky Bits as well. But for its time, I think it was pretty neat. Obviously, the Stormraven kit itself is way better than than my conversion here, but I still have it, and I still love seeing this thing. And maybe one day I'll paint it up to go with my Iron Warriors for their pre-heresy army or something like that, because I think that would, or their heresy army, I think that would fit in pretty good. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching our latest hobby showcase.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. TheLongWar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.